It's 10 p.m. You're lying in bed, phone in hand, eyes barely open. Your body is exhausted. Your muscles are heavy. Every cell in your body is begging you to put the phone down and close your eyes. And you will. In just a few minutes, you'll drift off to sleep like you do every single night. But here's what nobody ever told you. The moment you fall asleep tonight, your body is going to make a decision. A silent, invisible, biological decision that happens deep inside your cells while you're completely unconscious. And that one decision will determine whether you wake up tomorrow morning slightly leaner, or whether that stubborn fat on your belly, your thighs, your lower back stays locked in place for another day. Most people will never know this decision is even happening. They'll wake up tomorrow, step on the scale, feel frustrated, and blame themselves. They'll think they need more willpower. They'll think they need to eat less, exercise more, suffer harder. But the truth is, the real battle for fat loss isn't happening in the gym. It isn't happening at the dinner table. It's happening right now, in the dark, while you sleep. And the outcome of that battle was decided 60 minutes before you closed your eyes. What I'm about to share with you isn't a diet trick. It isn't a supplement. It isn't something you need to buy. It's a biological window that exists inside every single human body, a window that opens every night between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m., a window where your body is chemically primed to burn stored fat at an accelerated rate. The problem is, most people accidentally slam that window shut before it ever opens, and they do it without even realizing it. Here's the mechanism nobody is talking about. Inside your body, there is a hormone called growth hormone. You've probably heard of it in the context of athletes or anti-aging, but what most people don't know is that growth hormone is also your body's most powerful natural fat-burning signal. It doesn't just build muscle, it literally instructs your fat cells to unlock, to break apart stored triglycerides and release them into your bloodstream as free fatty acids, where your body burns them for energy while you sleep. And the most powerful release of growth hormone in your entire day doesn't happen in the morning, it doesn't happen after a workout, it happens approximately 90 minutes after you fall into deep sleep. This is called the nocturnal growth hormone pulse. It is a precise biological event that evolution has hardwired into your body, and when it fires correctly, you wake up lighter, leaner, and more energized without doing a single conscious thing. But here's where the story gets dark. Growth hormone and insulin cannot exist in the same body at the same time. They are chemical opposites. When insulin is present in your bloodstream, your pituitary gland, the tiny master gland at the base of your brain that controls this entire process, receives a stop signal. It reads the insulin levels in your blood like a weather forecast. High insulin means your body is still processing food. It's still in feeding mode. And a body in feeding mode has no reason to start breaking down fat for energy. So the growth hormone pulse never fires. Your fat cells stay locked. You sleep for 8 hours and burn almost nothing. Now think about what most people do every single night. They finish dinner late, they grab a small snack around 9 p.m., something light, maybe some fruit, maybe a handful of crackers, maybe just a protein bar because they read somewhere that protein before bed is good. They scroll through their phone under bright lights, they hop into a warm shower, they climb into bed with the room at 72 degrees and fall asleep feeling completely normal, completely unaware that they have just switched off their body's most powerful fat-burning system for the entire night. This is not a failure of willpower, this is a failure of information. And once you understand the mechanism, once you see exactly what's happening inside your body on a hormonal level, the solution becomes obvious, it becomes simple. You stop fighting your biology and you start working with it. Let's walk through exactly how this works and exactly what to do. The first principle is the insulin cutoff window. Here is the non-negotiable rule. No food, no calories of any kind for a minimum of 3 hours before you go to sleep. Not 2 hours, not 2.5, 3 full hours. This is because when you eat anything, your pancreas releases insulin to manage the blood sugar response. Depending on what you ate and how much, that insulin can stay elevated in your bloodstream for 2 to 3 hours. If you go to bed before your insulin has returned to baseline, your pituitary gland detects it and suppresses growth hormone. The fat-burning window never opens. If you go to sleep at 10 p.m., your last bite of food must happen by 7 p.m., not 7:15, not 7:30, 7 p.m. That 3-hour gap is the insurance policy that ensures your insulin has fully cleared before your body enters deep sleep. Now here's what most people immediately think. They think this means they'll be starving. They think they'll lie awake with a growling stomach, miserable, desperate for food. But that's not what happens when you do this correctly. When you stop eating 3 hours before bed, something interesting occurs. Your digestive system begins to quiet down. Your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and repair mode of your body, kicks in fully. Your brain chemistry shifts. You are no longer processing food. You are transitioning into recovery mode. And that transition is exactly what creates the hormonal environment for fat burning to begin. The second principle is the composition of your final meal. Not all food affects insulin equally. Carbohydrates, especially processed ones, refined sugars, fruits, bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes, trigger the most aggressive insulin response of any macronutrient. Even if you stop eating at 7 p.m., if your final meal was carbohydrate heavy, your insulin may not return to baseline until 10 or 11 p.m. You'll fall asleep with insulin still circulating, growth hormone stays suppressed, fat burning never initiates. The solution is a final meal built around protein and fat. Grilled salmon with roasted vegetables and olive oil, eggs cooked in butter with a handful of spinach, chicken thighs with avocado and a simple green salad. These foods produce a gentle, controlled insulin response. Blood sugar rises slightly and returns to baseline within 2 hours, leaving you a clean 1-hour buffer before sleep. Growth hormone gets its window. Fat burning begins. And here is something critical that most protocols miss. You do not need to eat less. You need to eat differently. A well-built final meal with adequate protein and healthy fat is deeply satisfying. It eliminates late-night cravings. It prevents the desperate snacking that derails everything. It keeps your body hormonally stable rather than swinging between hunger and fullness. Deprivation is not the goal here. Deprivation triggers cortisol, and cortisol, like insulin, is a direct suppressor of growth hormone. If you go to bed stressed, anxious, and hungry, you are chemically blocking fat loss just as effectively as if you had eaten a bowl of pasta at 9 p.m. The goal is satiety without a spike, fullness without the hormonal cost. Protein and fat together deliver exactly that. The third principle is the quality of your deep sleep. Growth hormone is not released during light sleep. It is not released during REM sleep. It is only released during deep, slow-wave sleep, the third and fourth stages of your sleep cycle. This is the phase where your brain waves slow to their lowest frequency, where your body temperature drops to its lowest point, where your immune system does its deepest repair work, and where your pituitary gland fires the growth hormone pulse that unlocks fat burning. If you never reach deep sleep, none of this happens. And the single most effective way modern people are destroying their deep sleep is staring directly into their phones and screens for hours before bed. Your eyes contain specialized receptors called intrinsically photosensitive retinal ganglion cells. These receptors are specifically sensitive to blue wavelength light, which is the dominant wavelength emitted by every phone, laptop, and television screen you own. When blue light hits these receptors, they send a signal directly to your suprachiasmatic nucleus, your biological clock inside your brain. That signal says one thing: it's daytime, stay awake. Your brain responds by suppressing melatonin production, and without melatonin, you cannot enter deep, slow-wave sleep. You float in lighter sleep stages all night. You toss and turn. You wake up feeling groggy and unrested. And your growth hormone pulse, the entire biological machinery of nighttime fat burning, never fires. Cut off all screens by 9:30 p.m. Not just dim them, not just enable night mode, turn them off completely.
There is one more factor that most people completely overlook: room temperature. Your body's ability to enter deep sleep is directly tied to its core temperature. In order to enter slow-wave sleep, your body needs to drop its core temperature by 1 to 2 degrees. This cooling process is what triggers the brainwave shift into deep sleep. If your room is warm, your body cannot complete this cooling process. You stay in shallow sleep. You never reach the depth where growth hormone releases. Sleep in a room between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. This single change alone has been shown in research to meaningfully increase the proportion of time spent in deep, slow-wave sleep. Put it all together, and here is what your evening actually looks like when you run this protocol correctly. By 7 p.m., you've finished your last meal. It's built around protein and fat. Your plate looks like real food, satisfying and complete. No carbs, no sugar, no fruit for dessert. You feel full. You feel good. By 8 p.m., your kitchen is closed. Your digestive system is beginning to quiet. Your body is shifting modes. By 9 p.m., you step into a hot shower. The heat brings blood to the surface of your skin, and when you step out, your core temperature drops sharply, which signals your brain to begin the melatonin cascade. By 9:30 p.m., every screen is off. You read, you write in a journal, you stretch quietly in the dark. By 10 p.m., your lights are out. Your room is cool, dark, and quiet. By 11:30 p.m., your body enters deep, slow-wave sleep. Your pituitary gland scans your bloodstream and finds exactly what it needs: low insulin, stable blood sugar, a quiet digestive system. The signal fires. Growth hormone floods your system. Your fat cells receive the command. Between midnight and 3 a.m., you are in peak fat burning. The triglycerides are breaking apart. The free fatty acids are entering your bloodstream. Your sleeping body is doing the work your waking body never could through effort alone. At 6:30 a.m., your alarm goes off. You wake up lighter. Not dramatically, not overnight in some miracle way, but measurably, consistently, cumulatively lighter, because your body burned fat all night the way it was biologically designed to. This is not a hack. This is not a shortcut. This is your biology doing what it has always been trying to do, if only you would stop interfering with it. The reason most people stay stuck, the reason the belly fat doesn't move despite clean eating and hard training, is rarely a problem of effort. It's a problem of timing. It's a problem of hormonal interference. It's a problem of modern habits crashing into ancient biology. You are living a 2024 lifestyle inside a body built for a world without artificial light, without late-night food delivery, without the dopamine pull of a glowing screen at 11 p.m. Your body hasn't broken. Your metabolism isn't slow. Your hormones are not against you. They are simply responding to the signals you were sending them. And when you change the signals, when you align the timing of your food, your light exposure, your sleep environments with the biological rhythms your body is already running, fat loss stops being something you force and starts being something that simply happens. Tonight, start with one thing. Eat your last meal before 7 p.m. and make it protein and fat. Just that. One change, one signal shift, one night of not blocking the window that's been trying to open for you all along. That's where it starts. Not with more discipline, not with more suffering, with understanding, with alignment, with the quiet, powerful decision to work with your body instead of against it. Do that tonight and see how differently you feel tomorrow morning.